Hey, it's MVS here. So, many years ago, when I was watching TV, so that's how long ago it was. It was before streaming and Netflix and Amazon Prime and all of that stuff. And I remember watching one of these kind of reality shows, and it was called something like The Great Race. And it was a hardcore endurance race. There was running, there was kayaking along rivers, there was horseback riding, went on for days. It was like a 5-day event. And at one end of the competitive pack, you have the serious athletes, those kind of lean, grizzled people who have minus 3% body fat. But there were a bunch of people on the other end. Those are the people I'd be hanging out with. And I remember in particular, there was a crew from Ireland. And this was like their first ever endurance race. None of them looked particularly athletic. And they had all the stuff. In fact, they had a ton of stuff. In fact, I remember one of the people going, look, I brought a cheese board along because I think at the end of our first day, I got some cheeses and we're going to sit down on the campfire and relax a little bit and have some cheese. And of course, you look at the elite athletes and they're like, I've got a bottle of water and maybe a energy bar or 3, and that's it. They travel light. And this Irish team, after about an hour, they're like, we're abandoning the cheese, we're abandoning the cheese board, we're abandoning all of that stuff, that extraneous weight that they were carrying on that particular race. Now I'm sitting at the back of where I live in Toronto. My wife and I rent an apartment in that building just over there. You can't see it, but behind us, you can see that brown building. That is an old shed or garage. It's padlocked. It's been padlocked for years. It's got 1, 2, 3, probably 3 or 4 bays where you maybe could have parked a car. But it's empty, or at least we think it's empty. We don't really know. We do know that it is a hive of raccoon behavior. So even if we could get in there, we wouldn't want to because it is full of disease and rabies. I don't know if it's got rabies, but there's a bunch of stuff there. And I've been sitting here at the back looking at it going, it takes the eye, it consumes a vast amount of space, it houses a whole bunch of unpleasant stuff. Why is this still on the property? And I probably need to go and talk to Mike, my landlord, about this and have a chat about if there's something we could do to knock that down in a safe way, dispose of it and open up a new horizon, open up new space. And because I love a good metaphor, you can probably guess where this is going. With my dad having died last month, my mum and my family are going through a bit of a reckoning around, well, what's in the house and what are we holding on to and what are we letting go of? So that question's on my mind as well as I look around my life and I go, well, what am I holding on to? What's essential? If this is a hardcore endurance race, where are my cheese boards that I don't need to be carrying with me and that I might be able to let go? What actually do I need? What is essential? And mostly what I realize I want to carry with me are the intangible things. Sure, there are some things I have in the house which I love and they're beautiful and they remind me of a moment, or I just love them for the sake of themselves. It's a bit Marie Kondo-esque, which is like, these things do bring me joy. But if I'm preparing for the rest of the race, what I'm wanting to gather around me are relationships and people and stories and connection. So how about for you? Maybe you can put a comment in the YouTube comments down there, which is like, well, you can tell us what you're letting go of. That's always interesting. But I'm really curious to know what's precious to you. What will you be packing for the journey ahead? Thanks.